we need to talk about Spain, Greece, France, Great Britain, and the Hebrew Black Moor remnant that was found in these countries. You know, Shabbat Shalom. Back in the year 711 AD to 1492, and I know y'all remember that little song that we would sing in elementary school. Back in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Well, guess what? Let's run that back. Because from 711 to 1492, there were African Moors, Israelites, and Muslims who worked together and owned Europe, parts of Europe, I should say, Spain, France, even parts of Greece, in what they call the Dark Ages. But listen, there was an Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition that happened, and you're going to realize a lot of the things that you see happening in Spain, France, Great Britain, like the UK today, these things are due to the fullness of prophecy coming together in real time. This is a Shabbat study that we have to go through today. It's so relevant for today because if you look at the headlines, France is having issues. France is obviously having issues because Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso kicked them out, okay? And then you also have this new thing that's happening. If you did not hear, a lot of the BRICS economies are getting together, even including Colombia, and they are actually about to give Israel, the modern day Israel, the boot. France is actually also accepting refugees from Gaza. And so we see this turn of events where the world has to reckon herself and plead right ruling and plead the right judgment, because guess what? These Inquisition type nations back in the Dark Ages and even up to neo-colonialist times were trying to take resources from the African continent and other regions of the world where Black and brown peoples are. But all that changes right now. Did you know there were ancient Israelite merchants, mixed communities of Moors also under Roman rule, who were later enslaved via the Italian Venetian ports, according to Acts 18:2 and Joel 3. France is included in this as well because Hebrew converts were persecuted, Marranos, Black nobility, in antiquity, okay? Read Psalms 44 and verse 11, then Revelations 2:9, Revelations 3:9, okay? Then, of course, we have Great Britain. Hebrew traders from Carthage, Iberian exiles, Black nobility were suppressed during Saxon Christian expansion. Please see Isaiah 11:11 and Zephaniah 3:10, where the Most High says through the prophet Zephaniah in Zephaniah 3:10 that he will call the remnant from Cush and Sheba from beyond those rivers to come back to the continent. Let's focus in on Spain for a moment. The Moors of Spain ruled for over 700 years. Many were Hebrews, not just Arabs. These rulers practiced a blend of Hebrew law, astronomy, agriculture, and Torah-rooted ethics. After 1492, the Alhambra decree expelled both Jews and Moors, and they were killed or unalived by force if they did not become baptized, okay? Now, I don't know about you, but I just don't remember reading in Matthew or Luke anywhere where Yahushua said just go ahead and unalive people if they don't get baptized like that. That's not what he meant when he said spread the gospel, okay? That's just not what he wanted to go down. And if you look at these territories right now, today in these times, they're having these migrant immigration crises, right? They're saying, you know, I was actually listening to a video today from Sky News Australia. People in Spain, people in Ireland, people in the UK are complaining, saying, oh my gosh, it looks like Africa here. There's too many brown people. It looks like Islamabad, Pakistan. There's too many melanated people here. That's basically what they were saying. But a lot of these nations are just not coming to this understanding. But if you are European and you do have that understanding, good for you. But they're not coming to the understanding that the way that biblical law works, you have to reap what you sow. And so although the Inquisition happened hundreds of years ago, the thing about the Most High is that he doesn't really forget. See, his time is far exceeding above our time. We see an hour, we're like, oh my gosh, it's taking too long. But to the Most High, an hour can be hundreds of years, okay? His timeline is so different from ours. And so he is going to make himself manifest in this world today. And the main way that he is doing it is changing the captivity that was historically placed on the global south and flipping it to the global north. Now understand, These Jews, these Israelites were hunted down by the Catholic Church, these people who kept the Shabbat, the Sabbath, circumcision, being kosher, being set apart. Now listen to this. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 20 says, the exiles of Jerusalem who are in Sepharad shall possess the cities of the south. Sepharad equals the ancient name for Spain, the cities of the south, okay? Is any of this clicking? You know what? Hold on. I didn't remind you to hit the like button. Shalom, but hit the like button. Like, this information needs to get out, and people need to understand that the word of the Most High is active in these times. Understand that the Most High is not far away. He has not forgotten his people. He has not forgotten what was done to the children of Africa, not only to the children of Africa, but many of the children in India, many of the children in Thailand, many of the children in the Philippines and Australia, some of the indigenous that were scattered to the islands and the lands of the sea. This is such a big picture vision, okay? And I'm graced to be able to give it to you because this is what Yahuah wants you to understand, especially if you're in Europe, especially if you're in North Africa, wherever you are in the world, you need to understand these things. Now let's go to Greece. Now Greece, the forgotten port of scattered Judah. Greece became a transit hub after the fall of Jerusalem. Many Israelites were sold into slavery from Tyre and Sidon, Lebanon ports, into Greek territories. Listen to Joel 3 and 6 very carefully. The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, you have sold unto the Grecians. These Hebrews became dock workers, soldiers, scribes, writers, but by the 12th century, most were reduced to serfdom or absorbed into Greek Orthodox culture under pressure. Many of these Hebrews and also the Moors, after fled Greece and Spain, then went to the Americas through the colonial trade routes. Now let's have a look at France. So many French today are looking at the south of France. You should look this up. Check out Sky News Australia. So many French today, there are protests happening. There's like so much happening in the south of France, Ireland as well, the UK as well, where people are like, oh my gosh, why are all these black people here? Why are all these brown people here? But I mean, it's like, keep that same energy, because guess what? During the Spanish Inquisition, when the French were colonizing the world, when all these things were coming into play, you didn't see Africans saying, oh my gosh, why are all these Europeans here? So it's like, we have to keep that same energy. We have to want righteousness in the earth, and then we also have to just understand biblical law. Now, I'm not for violence. I don't know what the immigrants are doing there, but I'm showing you why these things are coming to pass, because you have to reap what you have sown, okay? France, the remnant that was burned and buried. France hosted multiple Black Hebrew populations, especially in the south, okay? Province Aquitaine, the Cathars accused of heresy and wiped out during the Abyssinian Crusade of 1209 to 1229. They had similar customs to Torah keepers, okay? No pork, Sabbath rest, anti-papacy stance, and many Moranos, which were Jewish converts, were Hebrews who fled into Spain to southern France, but were later hunted by the same Inquisition system. Listen to Psalms 44, verse 11 through 12. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for me, and scattered us among the heathen. France also produced Black nobility, including rulers with Hebrew names like Eleazar and Solomon, okay? Now let's look at Great Britain. Erased but not forgotten. Early Hebrew merchant traders from Carthage and Mauritania were traders as far as the Cornwall and London, establishing pre-Roman trade routes. But by the medieval period, these Hebrew exiles from Spain and France came to England. Some became money lenders, some were builders, and even scribes in royal courts. But by 1290, King Edward I expelled all of these Jews from England, many of them Black, African-looking, Sabbath-keeping Hebrews. And listen, Isaiah 11:11 is my favorite verse. At first, came onto this verse like near around 2018, 2019, and I would repeat it all the time as I was praying for the Most High to give our family the ability to travel Africa and to basically do what we're doing today. Isaiah 11:11. And Yahuah shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people from the isles of the sea. Isles of the sea, this can be the Mediterranean. This can be islands like Comoros, Mauritius. This can be islands like Madagascar, Australia. The isles of the sea. There are isles that are in the sea that are not just like these continents, but there are islands and lands all over the place where Yah is setting his hand to awaken his people and saying to Jacob, wake up, I've not forgotten you. Now listen, several Hebrew sounding names and coats of arms in England bear the Lion of Judah, Sabbath stars or olive branches, likely remnants of some of those Hebrew bloodlines. But what does this mean? This is not just about archaeology or ethnicity. This is about biblical prophecy. See, Yah says, I've exalted my word above my name. Okay, so he's saying his word has the top rank in the universe. So this is not about ethnicity. This is not about geopolitics. This is prophetic alignment that I'm declaring to you today through the word of Yah. The nations are remembering. Even nations that are not African are remembering. I mean, why are they settling down in Colombia right now, talking about how to get Israel, the modern day Israel, tried for an international crime against Gaza? We have never seen this in our lifetimes. We have never seen this in our fathers' lifetimes or in our grandparents' lifetimes. But there is a complete flip that is happening, and you need to be aware of it no matter where you are in the earth so that you can be on the right side of history. Okay? Let the redeemed of Yah say so, whom he has redeemed from the hand of the enemy. Psalms 107 verse 2. Okay? And I have a closing message for you. I'm going to leave you with this. They have taken crafty counsel against the people. The name of Yahshua would be no more in remembrance. Psalms 83 verse 4. But Yahuah says not even one grain will be lost. The world may forget, but the scroll is still open. The Bible is still here. Ethiopia, she also still has her biblical texts, her priests guarding their church in Lalibela. So the scrolls are still alive in the world, and everything will happen just the way that Yah plans for it to happen. America will collapse. France will collapse. Spain will collapse. Ireland will collapse. These populations already cannot repopulate themselves to even have enough people. We will go back to the end as it was from the beginning. We will go back and redo history and see those quote unquote dark ages in the African Renaissance where empires like the Songhai, the Mali were thriving. Isn't that what we're seeing now with the Sahel region? And so I'm declaring this to you in Africa. I'm declaring this to you in America, you in South America, you in Europe, you in Asia, Korea, everyone that is on the face of the planet. I'm declaring this to you by the word. Because you may be scattered, but you are chosen. And the nations are trembling because the real remnant is awakening. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video.